Hey there. It is March 1st. Kind of back, slowly starting to get back into the swing of things. We had a lot of stuff happen over the last couple of weeks. I'll just give a quick rundown of what it was. I was away last week, enjoying a couple days off. Thursday, Monty and I visited Alcatraz. That is one of the coolest things. You know, it's right here in our own backyard, and we finally got it together. And hey, our new cat, Ponzu, causing trouble. Well, go away. Go find your mom. Anyway, let's see. I was talking about Alcatraz. Unbelievably cool. So if you're in, many people come to visit San Francisco. I'm sure it's high on your list of things to do. But we did manage to see Alcatraz and the Lagunitas Brewery in Petaluma, and then spent a couple days at the Hotel Trio in Healdsburg, where they're having some rough weather right now. The Russian River is taking out little towns along the river that flows through Healdsburg, but it's further downriver where things are bad. Anyway, let's see. I want to talk about hammer-ons. I want to talk about... I think that's it. I will get to the hammer-on thing in just a minute. No, I'll talk about that first. Then we'll run through all the boring stuff. A really useful thing to practice, and I put this in the post, but getting used to doing a hammer-on and getting good tone out of it is a matter of moving not fast, but quickly. Well, or the other way around, however you want to think about it. You have to wait till the right time, and then pound it down hard. And the suggestion I had in the forum was a good way to really see if you're hitting it hard is, first of all, land really close to the fret. Is practice hammering down on notes from them not ringing already. Try with your second and third fingers can do them the best. Your first finger is a little tougher. Fourth finger takes a lot of oomph for it, and really got to work on the aim. So got to land right on the tip of your finger, and it's got to hammer down like the hammer in a piano. Picture that. You hit the key and it goes quick snap. Anyway. Let's see, what else did we get going on this week? We had a lot of new lessons. This one was really fun. I'm glad I finally got to it. Well, that was 2 weeks ago, by the way. Anyway, I hope a few of you are messing around with that. It was a fun project, almost as fun. It's kind of making me think that the lessons I'm going to be doing over the near future are more, especially since we have Max and Vanessa doing a lot of different things. I'm going to try to focus on the cool instrumentals, which unfortunately means they're all a lot more complicated. But this one I think is coming up. Feel like it's finally getting a little bit more under control. Anyway, so I'm going to get to a lesson on Last Train Home and probably even on this. How's it go? That's the part I always mess up, and it's getting easier. Just shows what happens when you practice. Okay, I'm going to get back to practicing this afternoon. But let's see. The new songs. Max brought us a couple of really cool tunes. I better go through them in order. Casey Jones, the most recent one. Of course, when I first saw that Casey Jones was on the list, I thought we were talking about the Grateful Dead song. But no, or the New Riders of the Purple Sage song. But they also did it, I believe. Oh, I'd have to go check that. But anyway, Mississippi John Hurt. Now, Mississippi John Hurt does a lot of stuff with just kind of an alternating G's in the bass, or keeping a simple bass line going. later. D. Anyway, so it's really cool that I'm glad Max brought that one back into our little world here. Let's see, the other Max lesson. Drain You, Nirvana. Let me see, did I miss a few others? I think so. And Tom Petty, I Won't Back Down. That was another one that popped out. Vanessa brought us an Elvis tune that has a title that is just very nondescript, right? I want you, I need you, I love you. But still, just as cool as all of his other tunes. And, Max brought us All of Me, too. I didn't look at that one yet. Must be an A minor, huh? D, huh? Anyway, so thanks for that. His was probably nothing like that. I didn't get a chance. Being away last weekend, I was delinquent in things I was supposed to be doing. What else did we have? What else did I miss? Oh, today, instrumental from the movie Brokeback Mountain. Beautiful tune. The Wings, and nice, pretty straightforward with some of the stuff that happens in there, and of course Vanessa dresses it up very nicely. So that one, I had some, what else was I going to read about? Oh, pronunciation, South American pronunciation of names like that. I have no idea, except Gustavo was pretty straightforward. Now, Santao La G, usually the double L in that part of South America is pronounced with a ZH kind of sound. And I remember many years ago when I was like a teenager watching who we called Guillermo Vilas play tennis. And he was doing an interview and they asked him how his name was pronounced. And it didn't even occur to me that they were worried about his first name, which they pronounced Guillermo, two L's with a ZH kind of sound. Anyway, fascinating, huh? Okay, that's not what I really wanted to talk about. Let's see, what else did we get up this week? Couple of reviews of Eryk. Thanks for jumping into the uploading for reviews category of playing If I Were a Carpenter. A couple of good suggestions. I hope you guys have checked that out. And Ken with Wild Horses. Let me think. Okay, we'd have to do it. No, we got to do it down here. Pretty cool progression. But anyway, I hope main suggestion I had for Ken was to try to relax it down a little bit through these. Even slow down the idea of playing behind the beat rather than ahead of the beat. What else? Oh, we had a new pack come out. Pack of heart songs. I do have one student working on... Uh-oh. Let me try that again. this stuff. I'll remember the ending. Finally, have this right. Anyway, so that's the bonus song included in the Heart 5-pack. What else did I... Oh, you know what? At the very beginning of this, I think that's all the stuff I really wanted to cover. I know I forgot one thing, but I'm going to forget about it. The song I played at the beginning is called Beverly by John Fahey, and I really appreciate Bart's post pointing out that just the other day, I think it was yesterday, Thursday, no, it might have been the day before, John Fahey would have turned 80, kind of unfortunately troubled soul towards the end of his life. But huge influence on me when I was about still a teenager, I think, because it was the early days of KOME radio. I've told this story to a few people before, but I'm going to go through it one more time. And very eclectic station back in the early 70s, playing all kinds of weird stuff. And one day I heard this just really cool fingerpicking piece. There was one thing in particular that jumped out at me, and when I played it, it's opened up with this kind of slow bluesy thing, eventually got into this ragtime thing. And that little thing right there, triplet roll, the back triplet roll. It's like my ears perked up. I gotta figure that out. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. So started working on it. Tracked down the album After the Ball. Turns out it was 1973 when that album came out. So I tracked down the album After the Ball at my local record store, the Galactic Zoo, that was run by a couple of brothers, Greg and Tim Stone. And Greg Stone, and they introduced us to all kinds of progressive rock bands. Mike Oldfield, Tubular Bells came out, and they had it before anybody else in the country. And that was, again, 1973, I believe. Might have been the year before. Anyway, and then the next two albums by Mike Oldfield, Hergest Ridge and Omadon, just three things I still play to this day. Anyway, so walked into the Greg's store. Oh, and he ran a show on KOME, by the way, called Stone Trek. You could do a little research or search for the history of Stone Trek, a classic radio show from 80s and 90s when he would do Sunday night shows with featuring all these progressive rock bands. Anyway, back to the John Fahey story. So they tracked down. I said, I got to get more albums. They had After the Ball, so that was the first one of his I got. I also had a version of think about this. Song that was also done by Cold Blood, and I think it goes way back to the 40s probably. I Wish I Knew How It'd Feel to Be Free. So hearing Fahey play these instrumental versions of songs that I recognized, in particular the first album I got that they special ordered for me was called Days Have Gone By, and it had this on it. Changed my life. Once I could play a song once I could play a fingerpicking version of a song I knew from my childhood, that's where I went. So anyway, Fahey was absolutely one of the first big influences on my my playing. And then right around the same time, got exposed to John Renborn and Leo Kottke, and figured out this is so cool. There's a path for guitar players that don't like to sing. Okay, I think I am kind of out of time for today. We're running out of tape, well, or memory card. That's what it is. The memory card stuff is slipping. So, okay, I will work on an instrumental lesson. Hopefully, have it ready by next week. And until then, let's see what. Read up some of the stuff on the escape from Alcatraz attempts. It was pretty interesting. Even there was the Burt Lancaster movie. Okay, enough talking about Alcatraz. See you next week.